Okay, so today we have Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and the Mercy Seat. I had the video version here, the single version, which is shorter than the album version. But anyway, I went with this one, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, it's been a while since I last reacted to Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. It was 2022. I was in a whole different place. But yeah, and I am a little bit sick, so we'll see how this all goes. Anyway, let's get into it, talk about it after. And 5 minutes, let's go. About time I came back.
Which I nearly only innocent of. Let's say again.
He's innocent.
Christ was born into a manger, like some ragged stranger died upon the cross. And might I say, it seems so fitting in his way. He was a carpenter by trade, or at least that's what I'm told. Like my good hand tattled evil across his brother's fist, that filthy five, they did nothing to challenge or resist. In heaven his throne is made of gold, the ark of his testament is stone, the throne from which I'm told all history does unfold. Down here it's made of a wood and wire, and my body is on fire, and God is never far away. Into the mercy seat I climb, my head is shaved, my head is wide, like the moth that tries to enter the bright eye. So I go shuffling out of life, just to hide in death a while. Anyway, I never lie. Killing is called evil. Where's a wedding band that's good? 'Tis a long-suffering shotgun, coloring all that devil blood. And the mercy seat is a burning, and I think my head is blowing. And in a way I'm hoping to be done with all this weighing of the truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and I've got nothing left to lose, and I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is burning. In a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and anyway there was no proof, and nor a motive. Why the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is burning. And in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. A life for a life and a truth for a truth. And anyway there was no proof, and I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is smoking. And in a way I'm hoping to be done with all these looks and disbelief. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But anyway I told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. And the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is burning. And in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of
told a lot. I mean, oh my. So, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and the Mercy Seat. I mean, what do you say after a song like that? You know, an epic song like that. I always feel like when I come to Nick Cave, when I come into a song to react to Nick Cave, to review, to talk about one of his songs, I feel like, you know, I got to be on my game. I got to be, you know, sharp, because his lyrics are so complex. That's what comes to my mind. His whole, you know, feel is complex. See, I don't know. It doesn't seem like his lyrics and his music are always very straightforward, like some of the other bands or artists I listen to or react to. So yeah, it's just every time I come into it, it feels like, you know, I gotta, yeah, stay on my toes here, and you know, because I want to, you know, I guess try to understand the message as best as I can and not look like a fool. But again, it's I mean, here though, you would say with the whole, my goodness gracious, a burp coming up. Anyway, with the whole talk of what the song is about, what the song seems to be about, obviously a death row inmate going to the electric chair. And Nick Cave says that right off the bat, you know, when he's sitting on the bed there, and he's almost like giving an interview. And again, I've watched many interviews with people who are going to be executed, and I don't know if they do it by electric chair nowadays. I think it's by a lethal injection most of the time these days. But anyway, but just talking about, you know, the electric chair and how he's saying he's innocent, and actually I think recently somebody was executed, was it by electric chair, and it was very controversial. That just came to mind now. I remember that. But anyway, but yeah, so I mean, this still kind of happens where people think, you know, someone's innocent and they still get, you know, executed, and that seems to be what Nick's talking about here, until the end of it when he says he lied. So again, his lyrics are always so thoughtful, they're always so thought-provoking, they're always mysterious, and I feel like that's what he's, you know, going after. He wants to, you know, be mysterious. He doesn't want his lyrics really to have a true answer or a true, you know, concrete meaning. He always wants people to feel like, you know, it's always kind of up to your interpretation. So yeah, just the intensity here was off the charts. I mean, it's so intense, I can't say it enough. You know, from the get-go, when he's sitting on the band, he's talking, and it's like in 1988 when this was released, May 23rd, as the first single from Tender Prey, from that album. Anyway, in 1988, I can't imagine, you know, how people must have been, you know, kind of confused, or, you know, I don't know if you would have heard music like this back in those days. And I will say though, because you know, I say that, what came to mind, and maybe it was because of the video at one point when they had the whole band. I don't know, I forget what video I'm thinking of, but it reminded me of Joy Division. And I know that Nick Cave, especially around this time, you know, post-punk was a part of his, you know, what genre he was into. This has also had some gothic themes and all that. Of course, the black and white video was perfect for that. But yeah, I don't know, kind of gave me some Joy Division or New Order kind of feels, even with the music, even with just that intensity and just how that wall of sound almost in a way too. I don't know, but yeah, anyway, I just had to say Joy Division came to mind. But I just I wanted to also say that when it would go, you know, from him, you know what, again, he's in the whole character of being a guy on death row, you know, going to get the chair soon, and he's, you know, put his hands in his hair, and he's all, you know, kind of stressed out, but he still says, you know, he's innocent, and he, you know, he says he's going to die an innocent man kind of a thing. But then we switch to the band again, you know, and he's in his suit, and he has not a suit, but like a different outfit, and he has his hair kind of all, you know, clean, and, you know, it's all kind of looking better than he does in the other spot where he's sitting on the band. Anyway, I like when you go to the other part, and then everything just gets more intense. Everything just gets more fierce, and how, especially the drumming, you know, that just picks up. And it's like it starts off, you know, kind of slow, and they just keep going and going and going. And you know, not just the drumming, but also the guitar and the bass, and yeah, everyone just goes faster and faster. And then we go back to Nick on the bed, and things slow down, and then you just hear his eerie kind of talking again. And it's a very compelling song. It's a very compelling video. Like I said, I like the black and white, and then when you switch to the other side again with Nick and the band, it's not black and white anymore. So I just love what they were doing here. It's a perfect music video. It's it's more than just, you know, a music video. It's almost like kind of some kind of film or something like that. I mean, my God. Pause to wet my whistle there. My God. Anyway, but I forgot to mention as well. But obviously, a lot of allusions to God here, a lot of talk about, and again, I talk about, the mercy seat being the electric chair, and also, do you think about, the chair when if he goes to heaven, or the chair if he doesn't go to heaven? I don't know. There's seems to be more than just the one chair being the electric chair. And again, there's so much talk about religion, and I'm not really religious or anything, so I can't really go too much more into that. I know Nick has many different songs where he talks about some religious themes and stuff like that, and again, he's just so sharp with his lyrics, with his lyricism, and with his words. And here again, this isn't really even it's not about him sounding like a perfect singer. This is just a bunch of words and just a bunch of almost ramblings from this guy on death row. And again, that's why it feels so kind of real and so true, because again, it just seems like this is a guy that's on death row. This sounds like a guy like fucking Ted Bundy or something, who's going to be electrocuted in the electric chair. And so it's just, I don't know, he took on this character so well, and again, his eerie kind of delivery, his compelling voice, is so dark as well. Obviously, has a deep voice, and I mean, he took this on so well. Obviously, he has the perfect voice and look for it. And and again, being in 1988, I can't even imagine seeing this for the first time. And I mean, I just saw it for the first time, and it's not so. Anyway, I guess I'll go into these lyrics, and there's a lot of them. So hopefully, I don't know how long this will take. I'll see what I do here. Anyway, it began when they took me from my home and put me on dead row. My God, of which I am nearly wholly innocent. And I'll say again, I'm not afraid to die. So again, it seems, that seems pretty straightforward. He's on death row, and he says, it's for something he didn't do. He's innocent. He's not afraid to die, though. He seems very, he has a hard exterior. That seems, it comes to mind. I began to warm and chill to objects in their fields, a ragged cup and a twisted mop. I'm just thinking, is he talking about the stuff he sees around this prison, this jail, whatever? The face of Jesus in my soup. Again, with Jesus is a big point in this. And again, when you're in prison like this, when you're on death row, I do, watching documentaries and stuff about people on death row, a lot of them do become religious. And I mean, at that point, I mean, you feel like you might have to, because you only have one way you're going to get out of that prison. Anyway, those sinister dinner deals, the meat, trolleys, wicked wheels, a hooked bone rising from my food, all things either good or ungood. And again, maybe there's more to this than just he's talking about stuff he sees in the jail. But I mean, there's so much, compelling stuff going on here. But anyway, my goodness gracious. But he does talk, the dinner deals, the meals. I think about your last meal. Of course, and that's, I don't know, I've always kind of been fascinated by the stuff, last meals of people who were executed. And, it's just kind of not fun, I guess, because obviously those people are dead. But I mean, so obviously they're not very good people. But, just to look at last meals and him talking about dinner and all that stuff, that's what comes to my head. Anyway, and the mercy seat is waiting, and I think my head is burning. And I just love this chorus so much. It's so catchy, and it's so dark again, and his tone is just so aggressive, and I don't know, it's just, it's so good. I mean, my God. And in a way, I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. It almost seems like even if he gets off, at this point, it's just like he's just done with this whole situation. He just wants it to be over, obviously, either way. Of an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, and anyway, I told the truth, and I'm not afraid to die. Again, he told the truth, and I guess he told the truth that he didn't do it. He's not afraid to die. And then we move to the second verse, interpret signs and catalog, a blackened tooth, a scarlet fog. Again, I just think of these dark and dim images, fog and a blackened tooth. The walls are bad, black bottom kind. They are the sick breath at my hind. They are the sick breath at my hind. They are the sick breath gathering at my hind. Again, I feel like, is he almost seeing things that aren't there? Is he having some kind of psychotic episode, whatever you would call that? Is he seeing, does he see death? Is death following him? Again, is he going mad in his cell here? Because again, he's all alone, and he's, talking about God. He's talking about all these different things. So that comes to mind there. Anyway, then we go on. I hear stories from the chamber, how Christ was born in a manger, and unlike some ragged stranger, died upon the cross. And might I say, it seems so fitting in its way. He was a carpenter by trade, or at least that's what I'm told. So I'm thinking too, is this just as straightforward as him saying, Jesus died on a cross. The cross is made out of wood, and that's kind of fitting because Jesus, as a carpenter, worked with wood, I guess, or something like that. So he's just kind of saying, that seems fitting to me, or so I'm told that's what he was, so it seems fitting. I don't know. Either way, we go on to the next part here, the bridge. Like my good hand tattooed EVIL across it, its brother's fist. I can't talk. That filthy five, they did nothing to challenge or resist. Is almost saying, now here you're talking about good and evil. My good hand tattooed evil across its brother's fist. It's almost like he's not taking responsibility. Perhaps he's saying his hands did it. He didn't do it. That kind of thing comes to mind. Then we go into the fourth verse. In heaven, his throne is made of gold. So now we're talking about another chair here. His throne, like I was kind of saying earlier, it seems like he's alluding to another chair. That's not the electric chair, of course. This chair seems a lot better than the electric chair. The ark of his testament is stowed, a throne from which I'm told all history does unfold. Down here, it's made of wood and wire, and my body is on fire, and God is never far away. So again, it's just like, if he dies or whatever, when he goes to heaven at some point anyway, the chair there is going to be way better than the one down here that's made out of wood and wire, and it's going to set his body on fire again because he's going to be electrocuted. And either way, God is never far away. Whether when he dies, he'll go to heaven, or maybe God will help him get off and, not be electrocuted and stuff like that. Maybe he'll help him get off death row because he says he's innocent. Anyway, we go into the fifth verse. Into the mercy seat I climb. So now we're talking about, actually going into the electric chair. My head is shaved. My head is wired. Of course, they put the thing on your head, to get you ready. And like a moth that tries to enter the bright eye, I go shuffling. I go shuffling out of life just to hide in death a while. And anyway, I never lied. Again, he's keeping his innocence until this part anyway. And again, you can see the visual. I mean, I remember watching The Green Mile. And again, I know it's, that's a movie, but, electrocutions actually happen. But, so it's, of course they have to shave your head. They, put the helmet on your head, whatever. And that, that's how it all goes. And they put the cloth over your face as well. Anyway, my kill hand is called evil. So now he talks about, now his kill hand also has evil on it. Wears a wedding band that's good. Again, there's so much back and forth here, so much 50-50. I don't, there's evil and there's good. The ring says good, but the hand is evil. 'Tis a long-suffering shackle, collaring all that rebel blood. Again, he seems to be very I don't know if you'd say confused, but he seems kind of confused with himself, I would say here anyway. And the mercy seat is burning, and I think my head is glowing, and in a way I'm hoping to be done with all this, weighing up of truth, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and I've got nothing left to lose, but I'm not afraid to die. Again, now he's just going on. The mercy seat is burning. Again, I feel like obviously the electric chair is probably burns. I mean, my God, when it's on, his head is glowing. That's again very true for when the electrocution happens. And he just kind of says that over and over there. And I don't want to repeat it over and over because this video is already long enough. So let's go down because I want to talk about the last part here. And of course, there are different changes here. The mercy seat is waiting. I think my head is smoking. Again, he's just kind of talking about what's happening during the electrocution when they flip the switch when you're in the chair. I mean, my God. And it's an ugly, sad picture. I mean, my God. But his God anyway as well. But we go on to the end here. My God. And the mercy seat is awaiting, and I think my head is burning, and in a way I'm yearning to be done with all this measuring of proof. Again, he seems to be so done with this, whether, even if he's, almost got off or whatever, he almost feels like he just said, well, just kill me anyway. I'm just done with this. It's just, I don't know, he just seems to be so done. Of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. In any way, I told the truth, and I'm afraid I told a lie. So the last line there, you have to wait till the very end of the track to be like, hold the phone. We were just lied to. And I think about, as he talked about how he actually did commit this crime, should he actually be electrocuted? Should he be executed? Whatever, whether you believe in the death penalty or not, I guess. But, should he actually be tried for this crime then? Or is he talking about, I guess, how he said he is actually afraid to die? Was he lying when he said I'm not afraid to die? So I guess, it's not really all about him lying about the crime. Maybe he's lying about, he actually is afraid to die, which, I mean, I feel like some people say they're not afraid to die, but I mean, maybe deep down when it's happening, you might be afraid to die. But either way, at the end of the day, it's just, you never know until you get there, I guess. But anyway, it's just such a mysterious ending. And actually, there is a quote here from the man. I just wanted to talk about for one of the last things here, my goodness. So it says apparently somebody asked him about this song with an interview with The Sun in 2017. Somebody said there's some ambiguity over the man's guilt. Cave said, "You mean, do I know what the fuck I'm talking about? I think that's why we continue to play it at pretty much every concert." So there it is again. He plays it a lot. It remains mysterious and ambiguous, but genuinely thoughtful. So even him, I mean, maybe he might have an actual answer when he wrote it and saying, he knows exactly what's going on, or maybe he just said, I'll leave it up to interpretation. But either way, it's a compelling song again. It's dark. It's ugly. It's thoughtful, of course, and And again, the video does, does it justice too. The music is perfect for this. Again, I love the intensity. I love how, when things get faster and faster and then they break apart and you go back to him being on the bed talking and then you go back to him singing, with so much conviction again. It's just, I mean, God, it's just a ride. And again, it's just like, who knew music could be like this? So anyway, I guess that's all I got to say. Again, this video is way too long at this point, but there's so much to go over here with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. And I expect nothing less. So anyway, hopefully that all came out right. Hopefully you guys, aren't mad with my whole video here or what. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.